Ganilo's response to Anselm's ontological argument is very simple. Basically, Anselm says that God exists in the mind but not in the reality, and that he asserts that God exists in the understanding, and that we can all conceive of a being which no greater can be conceived. Sounds a little weird, right? But it goes further to claim that God also must exist in reality, because if he exists in the understanding alone, one could then say that God has a greater figure, and he does exist in both understanding and in reality. Ganilo's Lost Island argument says that there must be something wrong with Anselm's statement, because if there is nothing wrong with it, then how can we use its logic to prove things? And we don't believe that it's true. He makes the reader think of the greatest or even most perfect conceivable island, with great palm trees, everything's amazing. But it is likely that not such island actually exists. However, his argument would then say that we aren't thinking of the greatest conceivable island, because the greatest conceivable island would exist, as well as having all those of other desirable properties. Well, one might argue that Ganilo's argument is invalid, whereas Anselm's is valid. And also, one might argue that one of the premises of Ganilo's argument is false, whereas the corresponding premise of Anselm's argument is true.
Many people could argue that Gualmo's Lost Island argument is an invalid statement. Overall, both arguments are well developed and are deserving of respect. In my opinion, Anselm's argument is more effective. Although Gualmo uses the analogy of the perfect conceivable island, Anselm uses factual evidence to defend his argument. He uses facts that allow the audience to question whether or not we would be on the planet.
Personally, I would approach this debate with an open mind. I would take in and listen carefully to both Anselm and Ganilo's arguments. You have to respect both sides of the debate while understanding the fact that Anselm and Gualmo have different views on higher beings.